Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Okay, today we are doing a chakra day, and I have my co-host, Kelly, and I have my co-host, Barbara. Are you both there?
Yeah, hi.
Yes, hi. Looking forward to this
Hi,
once
okay.
again, Kelly. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Okay. Now, this is a landmark occasion because after 20-something times, we're finally giving a man to get a chakra day. So I've had mine done by Kelly before and on Blue Jeans, but we never had an actual guest. It says here that you work in social media networking and community relations for the Salvation Army. Are you saying that you know how to get make someone more popular social media wise?
Yes, I've got some certain ways that I've learned to just the times and regions and looking at demographics and different analytics and just kind of learning the different ins and outs of actual posts, where and when and that kind of thing. It's a lot more complex than I had learned
Right.
than I actually thought.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, it seems like
Wow.
it seems like there's a lot of that. I guess when everybody talks about the 2016 election, and they talk about Facebook, you would think that a bunch of Facebook posts wouldn't really matter. But I mean, in a way, it kind of does, don't you think? I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
In some ways, sometimes things can get oversaturated, and obviously they get lost in the shuffle. Also, when you have different posts and shares about that particular subject, because you've got hashtags, you've all got the different media outlets of Facebook and Twitter and the big four, and so sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. You have other media outlets that get more almost. I know airplay isn't the right word, but more. Sometimes the one shoves the other one out of the way, and if an individual user, as I've come into contact with this myself, they will shove each other out of the way for your attention, like having four toddlers competing for your attention.
Right.
Yeah. That
Okay.
makes sense. But so we should really pay attention to our analytics on our own social media because it does tell you when to post. Like mine's more in the middle of the day at noon and what days. And so,
Right.
Yes, if I forget to post that day in the middle of the day, then I've missed reaching a lot of those people.
Absolutely, and you've got your different demographics who do look at and post at different times. It's very interesting how social analytics come into the different subject matter of each interest.
Right. There is so much. And I was so surprised that there was a big younger following. I thought, I'm a Playmate from the 90s. There's probably older men around in their 60s no, it's the young guys. I was so pleased to see that I've got the 20s and 30s that are following me. So that was cool. And a lot of people don't even know what way to swipe to even look at that information. And it's so important.
Right, exactly. That actually doesn't surprise me because of the demographic that you have.
Well, you're a good person to know, Bryan.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm learning.
So Kelly always finds such interesting people to get on the show. Thank you, Kelly, for bringing Bryan on our first. Weren't you going to announce this that he's our first male chakra Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. I
Yes.
don't think people mentioned his name. Our guest.
Oh,
name.
yeah. Bryan
Oh, we're not
Mason.
supposed to? Okay, I won't say your last name.
That's fine.
There's a lot of Bryans out there. Sorry.
Oh yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, so this is experience.
All right.
Okay, before we went on, I'm sorry, our victim said he was a little nervous. So there's no need to be nervous. Kelly is one of the best healers out there I've ever come across. And it's going to be a very, very good experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
You
okay.
are.
I'm pretty comfortable now, and Kelly and I talked before, and I just, said that I'm just going to kind of treat this as just one of the conversations that we've had, and it's nice that we got to talk, ahead of time and just kind of get me comfortable, and I'm pretty comfortable and not really all that nervous.
Okay,
Good.
Wow, that's wonderful.
All right, so you ready to get started,
great.
Kelly?
Yeah, thank you. This is odd. My
I'm
hermit
going to go
crab
ahead and put
decided
myself
to
on mute.
wake up.
You
Okay.
get
Okay,
started,
me
okay?
too. Okay.
All right, thank you. So, Bryan Mason, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, I'm going to go through and explain how I do this for you and for people listening who may not have tuned in before, because this isn't necessarily something that you hear about all the time. And
Right.
Our body has 7 main chakras, and those are in alignment pretty much, going from the base of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head, which is the top of your head, like right above it in that space. So each one of them is associated with a different color, a different system in the body, specific organs, thought processes, and emotions. And sometimes things can get stuck in a particular one. Like if somebody has past traumas, those could get stuck in a certain place, things like that. And basically, if you have negative energy or if you have a blockage somewhere in the energy flow, it can lead to physical symptoms down the road. And if those aren't addressed, then they can become actual ailments. So it's important to get your chakras cleansed and healed every so often, and it depends on the individual as to how often they need it, because periodically we might take on negative energy that's around us from people or be in situations that affect us that way. And if we have all of them clear and operating the way they should, then we have the best chance of having our best health, because then everything can be integrated and work together in mind, body, and spirit. Does that make sense?
It sure does.
Oh, good. Okay. Are you in a relaxed place?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So what I do is I have a little gemstone on a string with beads. You can, quite honestly, if somebody was to do this kind of work, they could use dental floss and a paper clip, because it would work the same. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or expensive. And I learned from Tim Jansen, and he went to the Kalamazoo Center for the Healing Arts, and he's a licensed massage therapist. And they taught how to clear a room of energy, how to ground yourself, how to work with energy. And he's gone on to learn different modalities, which I find fascinating. There's some sort of, well, I'm not even sure what all he does. He's gone to Las Vegas for classes, and he's the one who taught me kind of how to do this. I already had the ability, but I didn't know how to go about it and why things were working the way they did. And he was able to explain. So, and show me some techniques. So that really helped. Then I did my own research. And I'm planning on taking Reiki. So that will just further enhance.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, that'll really open up a lot from what I've heard.
Yeah, it sure will.
Yeah. So, what I do is I take this stone on a string and I put my hands gliding down it so that I can put the energy into the ground so that it can be safely absorbed, any residual energy from anything that's been around or been used on. So that's clearing it. And I'm sorry if I sound a little nervous today. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just the way the animals are acting is just off today. Bearded dragons are hiding and going to sleep early. The hermit crabs are coming out and clanking around. And I'm dog sitting. So, we got the squeaky toy out of the way and stuff like that. So,
I think the heat might have something to do with it, too. That's something.
Yeah, it could be. And probably the barometric pressure, because we've had a lot of sunshine and then rain for, 5 seconds and then sun and rain. It just won't make up its mind.
Right.
Okay. Well, I don't think any of that's going to affect how I do, but I just wanted to kind of put it out there that if I don't sound as smooth as I usually am when I'm talking, I'm having to choose my words wisely because they're not just coming freely, and I don't know why. But they can also be the solar flares. I heard that can affect communication.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, the root chakra is the most primal and important energy center. It's the instinct for survival and safety. And that would be basically if you were sitting, that would be the part that you'd be sitting on. Because it's like your seat area. So let's see how this is for you. Okay, this is doing a small circle. So it's doing well, but it could do a lot better. And how I do this is I concentrate on your picture in my mind, and then I'm concentrating on that area where the chakra is, and then that it ends up moving. And if I was to, if you were laying here and I was doing that in person, if I moved that to your leg or to your arm or something, it would stop moving because it'll only move above that particular chakra.
Okay.
And this is just, a way to do it with distance. So let's see what happens when I go in there. What do I find? I feel like something's trying to weigh you down and hold you back.
Okay.
I feel like there's confusion as far as your future is concerned, which is making you concerned about not your safety, but like your stability, like your survival.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, there are some big decisions I've got coming up basically before the month ends. And I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things up in the air basically of where I'll be living, and so yeah, there's a lot of unsurety as far as that goes, and yeah, that's a little scary. I mean, so I'm trying to do what I can within my power to put to make the best decision for me, and yeah, yeah, that's a struggle now. So, I mean, I'm I guess I'm not like afraid of like being out on the streets again, because as I've talked about, you know, I was homeless for a period of time throughout my years, and I don't fear that I will be forced back into that again, but I do fear that I'll be forced to go because of just situations, maybe go live somewhere where I don't really want to, like not my best choice, I guess, my first choice. But I'm a very optimistic person, and I know that I'm a firm believer of God always puts me where He wants me to be, and I'm always where I'm supposed to be. And so I really take that to heart, and I really just try to look at positive everything. Even if it's not the greatest situation, I try to look and see, what am I learning from this? What's the next best thing? And that's what I try to take from that.
Okay, that makes sense. Let me see. I'm doing the thing where I've explained on other shows, where I'm rubbing my hands together, and then I'm bringing them shoulder width apart, and then closer and closer and closer until they're about 5 inches away, and then I start to feel resistance and more tingling, and that's making an energy ball. So that's like concentrating my energy into my hand. So I'm going to see if I can reach in further and see what's happening with this. Okay, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety with that decision-making process, but what I'm getting between what you're saying and the feelings I'm picking up and what the pendulum was doing, because it was going steadily and it was positive, that's telling me that things are going to be okay as long as you're making smart decisions. That you could end up, you know, in a situation where you don't necessarily like the people or you don't like the place. It's not your first choice, but even if that happens, you're going to be the one that makes the best choices while you're there. You're going to be the one who comes out ahead, and it's going to, you know, it might be a temporary, like, you know, headache for you, but you'll come out better for it and more tolerant and more able to adapt and adjust. And
cool.
That it's a stepping stone for a better place.
Okay.
So as long as you keep moving forward and doing things in a logical way, then you're going to basically, I'm feeling by the end of the year, things are going to be in a bit of a shift for you. And I'm thinking maybe around February, you might be more in the spot that you would like to be.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you keep moving the momentum forward and concentrating on, you know, doing your best, being your best self, and making the best decisions, and not letting other people sidetrack you.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing that I have struggled with in the past, and I have gotten rid of those people in my life, and that's been very cleansing and very relieving for me. So I believe as far as people in my life right now, I have purged those. So I'm feeling very good, because I feel like I have that after the past 3 years, I feel like I have that freedom to do the best thing for me and not what someone else wants.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just keep building on that momentum, and you're gonna really start to see yourself with your situation improving, with more good things coming toward you, with more opportunities, and you're going to build the confidence to be able to fill positions without being nervous. because you're building your you're building your competency, you're building your confidence, you're building your skill set, having to deal with various, different people and situations, and that's going to be an asset for you.
All right, cool. That's good.
Let's see where we are. Well, I'm going to get rid of that heaviness because I'm feeling it. Yeah, it was starting to make my stomach kind of turn a little bit. So, yeah, it's sort of like a lightweight bowling ball to me. I've dealt with some that was heavier, but, grounding isn't exactly one of my strong points either, and that's where you would be with the root chakra, is grounding into earth and earthly things. And I know we both like nature, but sometimes we don't really get a chance to be out in it like we really should for our own health.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to live in a city and go camping, you know what I mean? Unless you have the time off and you go somewhere.
Yeah.
And you have the equipment. So.
It's interesting you say that because I grew up on the north end of town in a very open suburbia area. We always had a huge yard and woods next to it. I mean, we still had neighbors, but I grew up on a river, and then when I moved out into the country. So for the most part, I have not been in a downtown and very, very urban setting until maybe the past 7, 8 years of my life, and I think that has been a challenge with me because I have not been able to connect with nature like I have been, and I think that could be, since I haven't done that in years, even on a regular basis. I think that would be very therapeutic to start connecting with that again, and that could be one of the reasons that's holding me back from that is simply my situation. It's not so easy to get out of town anymore.
Yeah, but it's going to get better. I mean, as long as you are, trying to take advantage of a park or take advantage of the river walk area, that's helpful. I mean, it's not quite like getting down into the roots of it, but, walking around barefoot, sitting against a tree, things like that, and imagining your feet going into the ground with roots. That's always nice. Going out in the rain, things like that. So, yeah, what I did was it felt like a light bowling ball. I pulled up, like, the invisible chain that was attaching it to you, and I blew and scattered it like it was a bunch of feathers, like it exploded into feathers that drifted away.
Okay.
So let's see if this shows difference. Oh, right away. Oh, this is crazy. This is going crazy fast. And instead of being like a horizontal type circular motion, it's doing with a plane propeller type thing on its side. And I'm not holding it any different. It's just doing it on its own. So that's
it just changed that quickly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you feel anything like a pulling or a tingling or anything there? Or
no, but what I felt, not physically, but what I felt was a ingrained sense of direction.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. Okay. Wow. I haven't had somebody experience that yet, and I like it. Wow. The next one is the sacral, and that's associated with the color of orange, and that's the emotional body, sensuality, and creativity. That one is, if you can imagine it, at the base of your spine, or guys don't usually wear bikinis, but between the bikini line and the belly button. So, So,
well, you don't know.
yeah. That was a good tension break there. Comic relief, yep. So I'm cleaning the residual energy off of this, and we'll see what it shows. Okay, this one is kind of doing like the tilt-a-whirl thing. It's doing a big sweeping circle, but it's not really fixed into place. It's kind of like going up, sloping one side, and then coming back down and sloping the other way. And so that's telling me that you are super creative, but emotionally you're in some stuff that, like, the more you delve into it, the more you find painful, but then you find relief from it. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Kind of like past circumstances and working through them.
Yeah. Like, when you said that, what first comes to mind is my kids. That's one thing that I'm working on building my relationship back with them from past things, and that's a work in progress. And yeah, when I think about it, it does kind of feel like a tightened knot. But then I think about it, and I think about the progress that I've made with my oldest daughter and how things have gotten good there, and how things are progressing with my youngest, and the middle one still being a work in progress. So it does. I understand that there's hope for it, and also relationship with my parents has been unfortunately non-existent for a number of years, and I know that they love me, and it's just hasn't been that time because of past hurts that they're not ready to open themselves up again for the hurt that they've built those walls up to defend against for many years. Because as I told you, I struggled with addiction, and that tore my family apart. And although, you know, this my clean time has been almost a year now, and become I hate to use the word successful, because success has, you know, people think of success in so many degrees. Most people in our culture, you say the word success and they automatically think money, and that's not what I see right away. When I feel success, it's how much good am I doing in someone else's life, and that makes me feel successful because I've made a difference. Because I think that's what we're all here for, is building each other up and helping each other, and I think that for me that's how I measure success, and so I feel like I'm always going to be growing in that aspect, and I feel like I have. So when I do get a little knot in my stomach when I think about the time lost, and that my parents are getting up there in years, and how much I miss them tremendously, and but I do feel that there will be someday healing for that on all in all parties.
Oh yeah, I really feel like when they see your progress over a period of time, and when your relationships with your family, your daughters, when that starts to build and come to fruition, they will hear how you're doing through them. They'll hear how you're doing through other family members, acquaintances, friends. They might be following you on social media from a distance, things like that, just to see how you're doing, but they don't want to be involved right now because they're afraid they're going to get hurt and disappointed. And but like I said, once you have more time under your belt and proven that you're not going back, then they're going to cautiously come around. Like you might see them at a family event or something like that, just to kind of test the waters with other people around, so it feels safer. And then, they'll come up to you and want to talk to you. That's kind of how I'm picturing it, and I feel it might go.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel that that's probably, in all possibilities, will be the way to go, or through a particular family member, maybe. Yeah, I get the picture you're painting.
Yeah. It's just going to take time, but it's going to happen. So, just keep moving forward and doing the very best you can, and things will start falling into place, but anything worthwhile isn't easy. Just remember that.
Oh, right. Yep. That's one thing that I've learned in the past 10 months is really worked on my patience, and that's being an impatient person, wanting one of the biggest character defects of an addict is instant gratification, as you can imagine, and to go from that mindset that I've had for 10 years, that's you just can't change that over even over a 10-month period. It's always a work in progress, but I can feel a difference in my patience and tolerance level, and it's been a blessing.
Good. And it was alcohol, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just cleared it out, I think. I mean, and that was really quite heavy. I did a lot of the same things I did with the root, and I'm going to check and see where we are. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is going like crazy. It woke the dog up because it's going so fast. So that was interesting. Yeah, the dog's looking at me like, what are you doing? So, yeah, it didn't bother to wake up while I was doing what was like pulling invisible chains in Tai Chi, but, he wakes up when I got this going. So, okay. The next one is the solar plexus, and that's associated with the color yellow. And that's personal power, self-esteem, warrior energy, and the power of transformation. Let's see what this is. Yeah, that's a big one. And that one is located between the belly button and just under the ribcage. So that could be another one of those tugging in the gut feeling type things.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, this one's kind of doing like a big sweeping kind of a lazy tilt-a-whirl thing. So I'm feeling like this one needs some assistance.
Okay.
Were you about to say something?
Yeah, I felt. It's funny. I have a scar right in my midriff, right under my sternum, and just before when you pause, and then when you right before you actually continued what you said, I felt something move down and out.
Oh, wow.
Like down to my belly button and then straight out.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
Oh, and
okay.
I just felt, I just felt it again, actually. And I'm still feeling,
wow. Oh, my gosh, really? Well, wait till you feel this. Wow. When I did that, I took a breath in to reach in there and get what you had in there, and I felt a complete shift in that area on myself. And wow, okay, that was odd.
Well, I felt when you did that, I actually felt in my chest and out my shoulders and through like the front of my face this tingling.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, it was weird. It was like I had something flush around in my belly, like the actual stomach, or like, gas, but it wasn't gas. It was just weird. Huh.
Yeah. It's like something was trying to make its way out, but it couldn't figure out which way to go. It was just complete chaos and confusion.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm checking it, and it's doing the airplane propeller thing. It's it was slow to take off at first, and it was a little jumpy. So I'm thinking that is kind of the transformation part of it coming out.
Okay.
It's just, taking things step by step, and you're not where you want to be yet, and I know you get frustrated because I can feel it, but, just knowing as you follow the steps, as you follow the rules, as you, take the time to learn things and do them correctly, and, the time is a big factor here in that you want to hurry up and get it done, but that's not how it works. Does that make sense?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And once you hit your stride, I'm not saying that you're not, doing what you can now, because you're doing what you can now, and you're doing really well. But there's going to be a point where you look back at this place and time, and you're going to be like, holy cow, I am so far ahead of where I was then. Like, you're going to just take off at a certain point and soar.
Uh-huh.
But, right now, it's the drudgery of following certain steps and making sure this is done correctly, and making sure, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and, putting in the drudge work.
Yeah.
And making the best of it, and you really do. When you do things like your sober gamers group and things like that, you're really making the best of it and helping a lot of people.
Oh, cool. That's good. Yeah, that's one thing I wonder. I'm like, okay, am I really doing something, or am I just trying to fill some time? And
well, you know what? People look up to you, whether they tell you or it's recognized or not. People look up to you that are going through the program, and they see you as, well, he's doing it, I can do it, and they're in different points in their life, and they see that you're kind of like a steady rock for them. You're a good example of where they want to be. And so it helps a lot. Plus, I really see you doing something with the counseling. Like whether it's what do they call those? Peer counselors?
Life coach, peer counselor, yeah. It's funny that you say that, because I even find that kind of thing comes so naturally. I'm such an empath that when people talk to me, I take on, I don't know if I take on their feelings and emotions, but I very much can look at things through their eyes, because I've experienced so many different things on so many different levels, and I have to catch myself and even apologize to friends when they confide in me and tell me issues they're going through. I actually catch myself psychoanalyzing and things like that, and I can be too blunt sometimes, because I try to put on that psychologist hat when I'm not properly trained at all in it. But like you said, I want to dig into it right now, and I want to fix things, and it's interesting that you say that, because that is quite a passion of mine, to just listen to what people say and come up with a solution, which I know that's not the way it's done. What I like to do is just let people talk through it and figure it out themselves. My own counselor does that with me. She just, she lets me talk. Oh wow, okay. I just felt, I'm very sensitive to these kind of things. I just felt something come through some energy come through the front of my face, and I'm still feeling it, like a tingling.
Oh wow! So you have a gift. You have several gifts. You have your creativity, you have your logic, you have your sensitivity to energy, and you have empathy. And you can honestly pick up on the emotions of other people. And you are analytical, so that you can help them break through the BS and the things that they're telling themselves in their head that is holding them back. You can see through that, break through that, help lead them and figure it out for themselves. And a lot of people don't have that, or they don't have the patience for others. They'll tell them what to do and get upset when the person doesn't do it, where you're allowing them to take a big hand in figuring it out themselves as they're talking to you. And that's really what a great counselor does. And I don't care if it's, cognitive behavior therapy, or if it's being psychoanalyzed, or if it's a recovery coach, or a life coach. If you don't have a way of identifying with someone and listening, you can read all the books and get all the degrees in the world you want, but it's not going to apply because you aren't going to be able to help anyone.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So
I've said that
you've
for
got
the longest
the
time.
whole package. You've got it right there. You just need to follow the steps to better your situation and just let it organically happen, but with a clear head and clear mind of where you want to go. And look for the possibilities and the opportunities, because I have a feeling where you are right now is, they have places where you can become a peer counselor. They will send you to classes. You get paid a certain amount of money to do activities with people that are going through recovery.
Uh-huh.
And that is right up your alley, because you're very creative and people like to talk to you. They like to open up to you. They don't feel threatened. They don't feel like you're somebody that they can't relate to. So you have all these positives going.
Wow.
And it's going to be such a natural fit for you, it's not even going to feel like work.
Yeah, that's I have to stop myself sometimes, and it's really cool to hear somebody verbalize all these things that I think to myself, but I don't want to say them because I feel like I'm being too prideful.
Well, you're not. Because you do have these things. Now, as your friend, if I start to see you getting too prideful, I'm going to be like, hey, dude, tune it down a bit.
Right.
You're not there yet,
Yeah, right. I'm so guilty of that, yeah.
Well, that's one of your lessons that you're in the situation for, is to learn humility. That's a big one. Yeah, it's like God had to knock you down a few pegs to get you to listen.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because you thought, hey, I'm great, I can do this, I'm good. And you weren't listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he had to knock you on your butt. Some people, that takes that. And now you're picking yourself back up and you're working your way up there. And you're going to get there because you have what it takes and you're determined. And you have that part in you that really wants to help people. And you can't help people if you can't help yourself.
Right.
So, and you know that. And that's another reason why you're working toward all this.
Yeah.
So that was a really interesting one, the solar plexus, and it was associated with the color of yellow. This next one is the heart chakra. It's the fourth of the seven. It's the opening of feelings, compassion, capacity to love, and doesn't like conflict, and it's associated with the color of green. Let's see where you are with that. Yeah, I know they always make like these red hearts and everything, and then it's associated with green. So.
Well, green's my favorite color. It's always something I've associated my spirit with.
Oh, nice. And that's a very earthy type color.
Sure.
This one is kind of a slow circle. It was very wavy, like going up and down and doing this and that, But it's getting stronger. Let me see what happens when I get in there and see what's up. Oh, wow. Oh, goodness. Okay. I felt a lot of sadness, a lot of emotional pain, some depression, but that doesn't feel current. These are all kind of like lingering from things that have happened.
Yeah.
You've had your heart broken.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can feel that you had to go through some really, really painful things to get where you are now, because you felt like you lost it all. You lost your family, you lost everything you had, and you hit rock bottom. And that's a scary place to be, because when you're there, you don't know if you can ever get better when you're at that point. And you know that you can now, but that pain is still lingering in there. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. I know I've moved past that pain, and I no longer have to be affected by that pain. But you're right. I think I follow what you mean by it. It's still there. It's still in my mind. Sometimes it does linger up, and more of like a kind of maybe a healthy, boy, I'll never do that again, or I'll never get into that situation again. But it still hurts. I wasted years of my life with a narcissist, and to finally feel like the blinds have come off and to see things clearly is almost shamefully. Things are almost shamefully clear of what I let happen to me and let someone do to me, and it does feel relieving to that I was able to find that strength to finally be done with it and finally say I'm worth more than this, and I'm not going to be this slave anymore.
Good. Yeah, I can totally identify with you. I've been in more than one relationship with one, and I swear I'm never going to go back. And not just with those people, but in general, if somebody starts displaying those things, I've learned that I need to trust my intuition, and if it's off, it's off. I mean, not my intuition, but the other person. If things don't add up, then it's like, okay, there's a reason.
Yeah, and I was always, when I would feel those things, when my gut instinct would kick in and things wouldn't add up, I would question myself. I would question my own perception on it. I would think that I was wrong. And as we talked,
that's how they operate. Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
as we've talked before, that's how narcissists operate. They get you to actually think like that, and that was the scary thing. And now breaking out of that, off that string, you're able to think clearly, and when you don't have that influence on you, it's almost a spiritual grasp on you that they can actually enter your mind and change your perception. And it's really just, it's the weirdest feeling and the weirdest way, because you think, how did this even happen? I always felt that I was intelligent, that I didn't let people push me around, but then you wake up one day and just say, how did I get here?
Yeah, you question everything at a certain point. It's like you question your perception, and am I really picking up on something, or am I being oversensitive? And they get, they blow your mind. And if you just don't know which end is up by the time they're done, or you say I'm done, and you leave.
Yep.
And then you have to find yourself again and rebuild yourself. Yeah. Let me see what happens when I go in there and I try to take this out. Because I have a feeling that if I take this weight out of that area, then you're going to be able to build more with love and confidence. And you're going to be able to know that you're worth a lot more than what people like that are willing to give, because they only give when they can get something out of it.
Right.
And yeah, so let me see. And that leaves a big hole too, because you obviously wouldn't be putting up with it if you didn't love the person.
Right.
And,
yeah.
Or trying to save them from themselves.
Yeah.
So let me see. Ooh, that's a heavy one. That is like a 12-pound bowling ball. Good grief. All right.
Wow.
I'm kind of expected that, but no. Yeah.
Yeah. You were prepared for that one.
Yeah. Wow, this made me burp. So I had to move the phone because I was starting to shake a little bit, getting rid of this, and I didn't want it to fall on the floor and give everybody a headache. Let's see. How do you feel right now?
My head is very light. Like, Limmy, just, like, I hate to use the word almost like stoned, but a very, almost, honestly, almost like I just had a shot of Dilaudid in my face.
Oh, wow. Huh. Well, that's different. I mean, everybody has something that, happens differently. I mean, everybody's wired different,
Right.
Let me see. Oh, now I get this really,
it's okay
really
to say
beautiful.
it's a natural
What?
high. It's fine to say that you're high, because
Oh, yeah.
why can't we be on
Right.
a natural high? Why can't we be in a euphoric state of nature and natural healing? That's what you are
Right.
feeling.
Yeah.
Dopamine
true.
is a natural
deserve it.
substance that, you're right, dopamine is a natural substance that the brain releases. That's what the drugs cause, but your body does it naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
That's
lot
like
of chemicals.
I think that
involved.
is the epitome of living right there. And that rush, that adrenaline rush that you're feeling right now, how wonderful
Right.
that you experienced that from Kelly's chakra healing. I mean, that is amazing.
Oh, this is
Did
weird.
you
to
go
my
through all the chakras?
No, we're no, but yeah, I'm getting there. But wow, because I felt light too. That was weird. That was really cool. I felt that connection.
And
Wow.
my nose is actually itching, and that's really odd.
Mine
That's
is too. Mine is too. It still is. Wow. Is it you right now,
Wow.
You're so in tuned, though. I have not heard anybody this in tuned with their chakra healing before.
Oh, thank you. You
Wow.
have no idea. He'll be like, when we met in person, he was like, I would send him little energy things with my hand on, like his arm, and he'd feel it. And I wasn't even touching him.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was really
cool.
it was weird. It was like I'd never experienced this, and I was having all these odd sensations, through like my arm, my shoulder, my face. My face was a big one that I felt a lot of sensitivity through. And it was just, it's a lot like this, and it just was really interesting and I think that might have a lot to do with the chakras, because different parts of the body. It was my stomach, it was the face, and nostrils, and just it's mind blowing.
Yeah,
Wow.
it really is. Yeah, I don't think I can.
And the
have
connection that
energy
you
connection
have.
with someone like that. Yeah, yeah. This is a
Sometimes
definite
we have
energy
connection with the individual. Well, you probably have a connection with the individual, Kelly, but also on top of that, all of your other work that you've done with your healing yourself from your addiction too, you become a lot more in tuned to spirituality and the realm of that whole being of feeling it. So you
Right.
really are in tune to it. So now you're more accepting than others of this kind of healing power and the gift of it. So, wow, I'm so glad that I witnessed this today.
Wow,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, this is very exciting. I didn't know what to expect. I never come into anything with expectations, but wow, I wasn't expecting
Yeah, maybe
that.
this is just what he was looking for, but didn't know he was looking for it.
That could be, yeah, because I know you've been strengthening your connection with God, haven't you?
Oh, very much so. It's been, I always considered myself a Christian believer, and through my life I've known the teachings and everything and practiced the faith. But in the past 10 months, I've actually had what I feel is an extremely strong personal connection to the Holy Spirit. And it just grows all the time because I'm actually putting something into it.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Wow.
that's another one of the reasons that you're awakening.
Yeah, because
You're
every
manifesting.
time before
Oh,
you guys are in tune to Christianity, and so am I. And she prays before every chakra healing. So we have the power of God here, and a lot of power in this reading.
yeah. Wow. I'm going to double check the heart one. I don't think we have a problem, but I'm going to double check it now that I think I cleared it. But, you have some of the most beautiful heart energy once you got that pain and heaviness out. It's like, and I don't say that with everybody, but it's kind of like one of those gentle, loving places that I just want to kind of curl up in. It's really nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know when she was reading you, I thought, gosh, what a nice guy.
Oh.
Aw. He is.
You could just hear it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of my brother. When you started talking, I'm like, wow, he's so similar to how my brother sounds. And I'm like, I miss my brother. And I thought, God, what a nice guy you are. And you're just really open. I love that. I love that you paved the way for our male listeners to come and get their chakras healed.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool. I would like that.
Yeah. Everybody needs it. They just don't know it yet.
Everybody.
Yeah, just
men,
even
women,
more
children.
understanding of themselves is sometimes even healing enough. Just understanding of it.
Yeah.
Confirmation and validation, and that you're on the right track, and then you're getting even more deeper into your spirituality and healing, and just becoming more of a light. And I loved when you said that you are working on your relationship with your daughters, and it's going really well, and you love the work that you've done with that. How wonderful, because it's never too late.
Right.
That's true. That is so true. And I just checked your heart chakra, and it's unbelievably good. I honestly was having trouble hanging on to it, and it took off so fast. And it was doing like the plane propeller sideways thing. Like, oh my gosh, wow, yeah, wow. I have to take a deep breath after that one.
Wow.
Grab a cigarette.
Yeah, I'm not a smoker, but maybe I'll start.
If you did, yeah. If you did, you'd need a cigarette, right?
Wow, that was amazing. Unexpected, but yeah. All right. I got to get back to. We're doing the throat chakra, and that one's turquoise. And let's see, that one has to do with the ability to manifest and express your truth in the world. So let's see where you are there. Okay, well, this is interesting. This is stronger than some of your other ones have started out because it's doing like a sloped helicopter type thing. And it's trying to do like the plane propeller where it's straight up and down, but it's not quite there. But it's a little bumpy, but it's mostly right on. I'm going to go in there and see what is happening. Okay. Are you, like, there's a little heaviness in there, and are you afraid of offending people? Like, are you afraid of, like, blurting out something because you're angry and you don't want to blurt it out?
Not so much angry, but it's funny. There is certain, I mean, in this day and age of our society, and so much turmoil in politics and social issues and religion and everything, that's like the big three things that I won't talk about, except with my very, very closest friends. And even then I'm very guarded about it, because to me, the last thing I want to do is offend someone, even if I believe very strongly in something. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm not someone that says, hey, you should believe this particular way, or you should think this way, or you should think that way. Yeah, I don't buy into the whole politics arguments. I hate it when I see friends on social media just fighting it out. I've seen friendships end because of things that don't even affect their lives, and it makes me sad that our society actually ruins good relationships because of media and politics and religion and things like that. So I do err on the side of caution, and I think, you know, if two people are friends or even acquaintances, there's so many more things you can talk about to strengthen your relationship and friendship without talking about all this stuff. And I've always been of a great belief that it doesn't matter who's in power, who's in charge, who's doing this and who's doing that. Lives for us, at least for me, doesn't change. Things still suck in this aspect of life for this class of people, and things are still great for this class of people, and it hasn't changed in the history of mankind, and I believe it never will.
Yeah. So it is restraint, and choosing your words wisely and being guarded, you know. And I know how people can try to bait each other on those things, and you just kind of have to be like, I'm not taking the bait.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and they troll each other, and they do all kinds of crazy stuff, and, you know, you don't have time for that. Yeah, I don't have time for that. Most people I know don't either. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know what they get out of it.
Yeah, nobody has the time for it, and they shouldn't, but they do anyway.
Yeah, it's like, you know, that's not one of my life priorities, but if it's somebody else's, go for it. I just won't be involved.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see what else I find when I get in there. I feel a little bit of, like, emotional pain, but in a way that I don't think you fully expressed it to the people that hurt you, or that you know, inadvertently hurt with situations. That, you know, I feel, again, like you're guarded a little bit. And that's okay.
Okay.
It's okay to be guarded. I mean, if you had laid it on the narcissist, you know, what they had done and how it made you feel, it wouldn't have changed anything because they can't feel it. And they're not going to feel remorse.
Uh-huh.
So it would be like wasting your breath. But the problem with that is that sometimes we choke down things that we want to say, or when we're upset or sad or whatever, and we don't let them out safely, like we just bottle it up. And I'm feeling like there's a little bit of that going on, but not to an unhealthy level. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I know that I'm a stuffer, but I think that a lot of that might be I try to let things roll off me. I try not to let things that don't really matter to me roll off. I like to say, if it don't apply, let it fly.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what saved you from this being something that was heavy. You know, that attitude of, well, I can't change the person, but I can change the situation and get away from the person is the type of thing that saved you. And, you know, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. Nothing is going to change that because narcissists just keep following the same path with different people. They expect something different each time, and it doesn't happen. Yeah. And when they, you know, they go on to the next. And they already have the one lined up to replace them. So, you know, it's their way of life, and thankfully you don't have to be a part of it.
Right.
So, there. I just released what little bit was in there, so let's see what happens with the throat now. Oh, yeah, this is definitely going right into super spin mode. Like, this is crazy fast. So, yeah, that is like the plane propeller going super fast. So the next one is your third eye, and that one's located between your brows and up a little bit, like on your forehead. And that's intuition, your learning patterns, and your memory skill sets. And let's see how this one is for you. Wow. I don't know if it can get any better than that, but we can try.
Well, my memory certainly needs work because I've got a terrible memory.
Well, your intuition is the more you distance yourself from the substances, if you know, I think you know where I'm going, or the substance, there was only one. The more you distance from that, the more your intuition is going to kick in. And the more that you're developing yourself spiritually and otherwise, you know, your mind-body-spirit connection is only going to get greater. And, you know, let me see what happens when I get in there, though. Oh, my God. Okay. Wow. I'm going to leave that one alone.
Okay. All right.
I'll explain it later, but yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not something for radio, but it's very inviting. I'll put it that way. I think you know where I'm going without going there.
That could be.
Okay. So I'll see what it's going right into that. Okay, I'm blushing. See, you get a guy on here and I start blushing. It's going into that plane propeller sideways circle thing. It just got like 10 degrees warmer in here. Okay. Stop it. Okay. The crown chakra is the next one, and it's the last one, and that is your access to the higher states of consciousness, being open to what is beyond understanding. And if you think of the root chakra as being the one that grounds you, this one is the one that connects with the universe and God. This is your direct connection, like a beam of white light connecting you. And basically,
this is be
the energy of everyone.
Okay.
So let's see. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, this is your strongest one. I can barely hang on to this thing.
Yeah, that honestly doesn't surprise. Yeah, with what I've been through and how I've felt in the past 10 months, that honestly doesn't surprise me because of the personal experiences that I honestly can't even put into words.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, total redemption, total change, and transformation. Like, you know, they should, when you get to a certain point in your journey, you should totally write a book about that because it could be a very inspirational movie, and it could also serve to let other people know that have been in your situation that it really can get turned around. You really can have a good life. You really can enjoy it.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I'm seeing the 10 months came to mind, and it's a building on the other 10 months. So that would be like 10 months from now. I think
Okay.
you'd start like making notes and writing, or maybe you can make notes in an outline now. But you know, if you write a little bit each day, you could probably make that into a book by then.
You know, it's interesting because I started doing that 10 months ago.
What?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I dated it. I've got it all. Right to the date.
Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. Well, definitely keep building on it, because you don't want to lose some of the stuff along the way and the bumps in the road and the things you've overcome, because those are going to help so many people, and it's also going to help you to be able to review it and go, dang, I went through all that. Look where I am now.
Huh.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one quickly and make sure that none of the energy stuff skipped around at different chakras to make sure everything's okay. And then we'll talk to you and ask you questions.
Okay.
All right. Oh, okay. Root chakra, I can barely hang on to that. That's going a million miles an hour. Sacral, that one's going right into a fast spin. Solar plexus, wow, that was going so fast I thought it was going to break, honestly. Heart is going super fast, and throat is going super fast. Third eye that was a little wobbly at first, but now it's going super fast. And I think that's just, you're breaking away from the dependency thing. And the crown is super fast. Wow, that was like rattling in my fingers because it was so fast. So now that we're done, how do you feel? Were you feeling things that you weren't expecting, or take us through how that was for you?
The biggest thing I feel is just kind of where I had hesitations of doubt with myself of, should I be feeling this way? Is this a healthy feeling that I should have? You have confirmed the good thing, the positive thing, and now I can kind of say to myself, okay, I am going in the right direction. Just kind of an affirmation of what I'm doing, and that I'm on the right path. I'm nowhere near, like you said, where I want to be and everything. But I also enjoy the moment. I also am taking in what I can learn from where I'm at. I mean, I live in communal housing. It's not what normal people have living conditions that most normal Americans think of as normal, but it had become normal to me. And even though this isn't where I want to be, and I know I won't be in a year or so, I take advantage of it. I learn from it, and I put a genuine smile on my face, and try to bring everybody, trying to take everybody up arm in arm and shove through it, and let's all get out of here together.
Wow. That's really healthy, and that is a really strong way of looking at things. And that is something that you can rely on for yourself, is that inner strength, that inner compass, that knowing. And knowing that you're worth it. Because not everybody knows that they're worth it.
Sure. Yeah.
When I had been in abusive relationships, I didn't know I was worthy of more. I just thought that's how love was. And thank God, I learned that it can be different. And I can be happy about myself.
You had a sacrificial love. You thought you had to sacrifice everything, your happiness, because what we thought in our minds was we have to give everything, just give, and no matter what the other person does, we still have to give and do the right thing. But yeah, we don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think that we're conditioned by society and like Disney movies where they all have the happy ending. They all have, the person of their dreams, and true love wins out. Even if somebody's a jerk, true love wins out. And it doesn't always do that when it's not the right person in the right circumstance.
Right.
So, it doesn't make us any less because it didn't work. It just means that two people weren't compatible. And, yeah, it's one of those things that sometimes, even if you're with, like, a narcissist, like we both have, sometimes society looks at us like, why didn't you do more?
Right.
So it's kind of and they don't look at men as being somebody that's a survivor, because they look at men as being the perpetrator, and that's not always true, obviously.
Right.
And
right. We can be emotionally hurt just like anyone.
Yeah, and I've heard of guys being in a relationship where the lady pounded on them, and they didn't fight back because they didn't want to hurt her. And
you don't hit a woman, right?
Yeah, so then, she gets away with it, and, he doesn't tell anyone because he's embarrassed.
Exactly. Who wants to tell somebody you've been beaten by a woman, or anybody, really? And you're right. People are people, and it doesn't matter what sex they are. They can still be violent if they have those tendencies. And I've honestly, I've never been in a fight in my life. So, I can see how it's definitely possible.
Yeah, there aren't as many resources for men, but they're getting better. Like, I have done volunteer stuff for the YWCA, and they do get men in there that have, been in a domestic violence situation where they didn't fight back, and, they were the survivor. And it's becoming more recognized and more accepted, because stereotypes are changing, thank God.
Yeah.
But, it's still not easy for a guy to come forward and say, yeah, she did this thing.
Yep. What about this experience surprised you?
What?
Did what?
I was asking Bryan, what about the experience surprised him?
I'm sorry, I still didn't understand.
What about the experience surprised you?
Boy, I think the honestly, since I tried to come into this with no expectations, so I tried to. I don't think even maybe surprise has the right word. I just think it's really cool to have things that kind of cemented in for me, and just to kind of I've got a good sense of direction that I'm on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if I can chime in, we have, we talk about, things and sensations and stuff, and we have this weird connectedness that we can tell when the other one is hungry. We can tell when the other one is, whatever. It's just really odd. Like, last night you told me I needed to eat because you could tell that my stomach was empty, and you had just eaten, so it wasn't you. And I'm here and you're there. I mean, we're like 60 miles away from each other.
Yep. That was really strange.
Yeah.
And it's like it wasn't a question. It wasn't like, hey, are you feeling hungry or something? It's like I just knew, It's like, hey, you need to eat something. You haven't eaten anything, and you're like, well, no, you're right. I ate this like this, but I don't really feel like eating. But I'm like, no, you need to eat though.
Yeah, and like I hadn't eaten since like noon or something, and it was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and it was like, how did you know? Yeah, that was like bizarre. I mean, but I'm becoming more aware that this kind of thing can happen, and it doesn't surprise me anymore, which is kind of weird in itself. Are you feeling like that too?
Yeah. It's funny. At first, it was like, I mean, it still is a whole new experience, but yeah, it didn't feel scary. It didn't feel like, okay, am I misinterpreting this? It was very much a sure thing, and so I didn't have to feel weird about it or feel like, are you going to think I'm a weirdo or something? Because I know that you already are in tune to it. You're having the same questions I am, and so we're just already on the same page. I just voiced it.
Yeah. Where, I don't voice it because, I don't know, to me it's becoming normal, but then there's also I don't want to scare anyone off either. So it's like you voice it, and I'm like, thank God you mentioned it, because I didn't want to. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, I've never had this happen like this before, and we have a lot of bursts like that.
Yeah, I have learned that listening to the show. It's like there's always something that you discover about someone that you've never come in contact before, and I guess that was kind of the biggest thing that I was looking forward to. It's like, okay, what's going to be unique about me that you're going to find?
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I know we've talked a lot, and there's a lot of interesting things going on.
Yeah, but like a lot of things came up today in this show that I didn't know before. So, and It was like, wow, we didn't talk about that.
Right. Well, only knowing each other for a short time, and we're both extremely busy people, and we, we're not. I think we're on the same page, so we're not one of those people that are always like, bugging each other, and we don't question. I don't think we don't. I guess we don't question like what. I don't know. It's hard to put into words at this point, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, we don't question what the other one's doing. Like, have they,
There you go.
It's like, okay, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, we're good. It's not, oh my gosh, I wonder if there's going to be the love of their life around the corner today. Oh no, it's nothing like that. It's very calm. It's building friendship and whatnot very slowly, which is good, because I have a feeling we've both raced into things before, and then that didn't work. So,
and that's exactly what I was going to. That's exactly what I was going to say, because always, every single relationship I've ever been into, I have just dove in head first, without thinking, without anything, and just so quickly. And the way I'm living my life now, I'm slowing down. I'm not just diving into anything, and it's a lot more peaceful. I don't have to worry about what I'm doing. I don't have to think, oh my gosh, I've got to spend time with this person or that person. I'm at a point in my life I can do anything I want, and I enjoy that. I've got things to do, and you've got things to do, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, because, whether this is a friendship or leads to more, I'm not worried about it, because I know that we have what we have. We have a very good friendship that we're building, and that's the foundation for anything. And I don't think that I'd really taken the time to build that with someone before.
Right.
Because,
Yep.
Once, certain things get introduced, then all the attention goes to, oh, this feels good. You want to do that? Yeah. That ends up taking up the whole focus.
Right.
And then you want to spend every minute together and you lose yourself.
Yep.
And we're not losing ourselves in each other because we're very much independent people, but we're both going in the same direction of improving our lives, improving other people's lives. And, it's like a nice, peaceful, comfortable, pace for it. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Mm-hmm. Well, this kind of turned into something else.
Yeah. How your chakras doing? Yeah.
It's like, wait a second, we're on a. People are listening.
You guys, hello, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. But that is so important, though. No, I agree. It's important to build a foundation, and that is so important in any kind of relationship in general, to build a foundation. And you end up, when there's problems down the road, which that's life, you're going to have speed bumps. You're going to be able to be strong because there's that strength and the trust and that bond of that foundation that you slowly grew. And that's important in every relationship out there.
Right.
Yeah. Just, some of my, best guy friends, I can be absolutely happy that they found the person for themselves. And, there's no, feeling about, well, I thought I was, whatever. It's that I'm genuinely happy for them. And they're genuinely happy for me and what's going on in my life. And that's how, all relationships, whether, what doesn't matter if it's parental, doesn't matter if it's child parent or friendships or coworkers, you should really, be hanging around people that make you feel good about yourself and that you share interests with, but also that you are happy for when good things happen for them.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the foundation for anything, really.
Definitely. Foundation's everything to do with it.
Yeah, so, things don't need labels and people don't need to know where it's going and all that because that just gets in the way.
Totally, yeah. As soon as you make a decision and put a label on it or put a name on it, that's like a mark for death right there. I have a friend who's a tattoo artist, and he always says that the minute you tattoo someone's name on your body it's instant death for the relationship.
Oh, really?
I believe it.
Right.
What about when they tattoo somebody's name on their forehead?
I've seen it. I have seen it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Shauna's husband just did that. Tattooed her name on his forehead.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty bold. I guess that's really cool. They have the confidence. I would have. Wow. Huh.
That's funny.
Interesting. Yeah.
I know. Wow.
Well, soon they might shut us off, but I wanted to say that thanks for coming on, Bryan. It's been great having you on.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been an enjoyment and a learning experience. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for coming out, Kelly, and thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Barbara and Johnny and Bryan and everybody listening. Thank you.
It was great.